swear to God, I'm not lying. It's like this huge girl. She didn't really look like a girl, but she was huge, and she's like coming down, and she's like got this scowl on her face, and she's like coming down, and I'm just like, my God, like, please, Lord, don't let her bother me. And so
you wanna know my name, but I ain't giving it. I already peeped your game. I ain't feeling it.
hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Kayla and I'm so glad to have you here. Today we are going to be doing a part 2 to my story time about how I went to jail. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you that has shown love and support towards my videos. I really appreciate it. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know to please like, subscribe, and comment if you do enjoy this type of content. Why? Because it helps the algorithm on YouTube and it helps push my videos to the forefront. So if you do enjoy this type of content and you want to support, please like, comment, and subscribe, or like and subscribe. Either way, it's free. So thanks. Okay, so anyways, let's just jump right on in. So now we are at the part of the story where my mom does not answer the phone. So I'm stuck in jail. My mom's not answering the phone. I don't know anyone else's number because even though this story happened a long time ago, nobody, even at that time, was memorizing phone numbers. Like, that's just wasn't a thing. You are so used to having a contact saved in your phone that you see that name all the time and not the number. So we don't remember numbers. So I had no one else to call but my mom. She was the only number. And fun fact, when they arrested me, my phone was still in my pocket. Like, he didn't confiscate my phone. So when I got to the jail, the police station, I do remember looking at my mom's phone number and trying to like memorize it. That's why I knew her number. So I was still kind of thinking like, did I memorize it correctly or did I forget a number? Like, so I was just really unsure of if I was even calling the right number. You know what I'm saying? After I call her about 5 different times and she answers none of them, I go back to my seat and I'm looking at the screens, the TVs that were up on the like wall or whatever. And like I was saying in the last video, it was playing a Bail Bondsman commercial over and over and over again. And I really hope I'm not saying that incorrectly, but Bail Bondsman, I think y'all correct me in the comments. But I was seeing this commercial play over and over and over again. It was like other commercials too, but this one was, you know, just continuously playing every now and then. So I memorized that number, and then I asked one of the guards. This is how you know I'm a Game of Thrones fan. Keeps talking about the guards, but I asked the officer, one of the officers, if I could use the phone again, and then they said yes. So this time I called the bail bondsman, and I call him up, and somebody answers the phone. He has an accent. He's like, "Hello," and I was like, "Can you call my mom?" And he's like, "What? Who's your mom? No, who's your mom?" And I'm like, her name is Kim and she works for this job, and can you just like go on the internet and just like find her, please? He's like, no, I cannot do that. And then he's just like going on, and then he's like, just give me her number and I'll call her, but I'm not about to go looking for her on no website. So I give him the number that I thought was her number, and then he said, all right, call me back in like 5 minutes, or no. He was like, call me back in like 20 minutes. And then in my head, I'm like, why he can't even just do 3-way? But I wasn't gonna push the issue. I was just like, all right. So I gave him like 30 minutes. So I call back, and then he's like, I got in touch with your mom, and I told her, you know, what's going on. I told her that you're in jail, and you know, she's working with me, and we're gonna get you out. So she's up to speed on what's going on, so you can go ahead and call her and yada yada yada. So I get off the phone with him. I feel a little bit of relief that she knows where I am, so that I have a chance to get up out of here. So I called my mom. And this time she answers. And like, first of all, if you know my mom, because I know I have some friends that watch my stuff. If you know my mom, you know that my mom is super dramatic, super over the top, super emotional. Like, that's my mom. And so I was expecting her to like go off on me, like curse me out, scream, cry, something. She was extremely stoic. She was so stoic and so just emotionless that I didn't even know how to read her. I didn't know like if she was just like so mad that she just couldn't show her emotions. I didn't know. So so this is how she was acting. Like, I was like, I called her, ring, and then she's like, hello. And I was like, Mom. And she's like, hi, Kayla. And I'm like, I'm in jail. And she's like, I know you're in jail. I just talked to the guy, the bail bondsman, and yeah, we're just gonna try to get you out. And I'm like, okay, when? Like, how does this even work? And she's like, just stay in there. I don't even know what to tell you. Just stay in there. And I'm just gonna try to make this work, and I'll call you. Or she's like, just call me back in like an hour or something, she said. And then I was like, okay, love you. And she was like, love you too. And then we got off the phone. So I was so like, I can't say like what's her problem, but at the same time, I'm like, what's her problem? Like, I'm in jail. Like, why is she acting like this? So later on, though, I learned that my mom was so just afraid. Like, she got woken up by a call from a bail bondsman telling her that her daughter is in jail when she had already told me that not to go out that late. So it's like all these things, all these worries. I'm not even the type of person that has ever had any issues with authority. I've never had, like I said in the last video, I've never had any behavioral issues. So I know it was a shock. It was like, all, shock, sad, fearful, everything. So she was just so scared for me. She didn't know what to do, and she didn't want to make me freak out more than I already was freaking out. So she was just like, I guess that's just how she came across, but she did care. So moving along, so now I'm sitting back in the lobby, and I must have been there for like another 2 hours, still watching the screen, just sitting there. It was like another man in there as well, and this lady, and yeah. So I think, was it? I really can't remember. I just remember that there was a guy in there, like a black guy, like in the back of me. He was looking real creepy, but I wasn't paying no attention to him. I'm just trying to do my time. So I'm like thinking to myself after a while, like, this is boring, but like, this is not that bad. Like, not that I would want to come back here, but I could do this. Like, I'm okay. Nobody's bothering me. I'm not around a lot of people. It's only me and this other guy that's like way in back of me. I'm cool. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to feel, like I said, I ain't comfortable. I don't want to be here, but I'm feeling like I can do my time in peace and just whatever. Wrong. So after about 2 hours, I'm sitting there, and then the female guard from before, she was like, come with me. And then I come with her or whatever, and she takes me to this nurse. And the nurse was really sweet, and I was just like, it was just so weird to read her, because like she was super sweet, but like you're in jail, so like everyone else is like kind of aggressive, like, but like hers being real sweet, you don't know how to take it. So I'm just like not really trying to talk to her, but she's like giving me compliments and everything, like, oh, you're so pretty, like da 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 da. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, just do what you gotta do. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to be. But after a while, I'm just talking to her. We had a little conversation, and then I want to say she drew blood, but I just can't remember. But I did know, like, we had to do some questioning about like medical information. So after that, I'm thinking that I'm about to go back to my seat, but the female officer was like, no, come this way. And then I follow her into like this room, and then she tells me to take off my clothes and put on some other clothes. And at this point, I got like super freaked out, because I thought, like, from watching the movies and TV and all of that she's gonna have to watch me strip, and I'm gonna have to squat and cough. Like, I'm thinking like all that's about to happen. Like, y'all watch too much TV, but I'm thinking all that's about to happen. But surprisingly, it didn't. She told me to take off my clothes and change into these clothes, but she didn't watch me. She went outside of the door, and I had to change. So I'm putting on these prison clothes, like they was orange and everything, and then they had like it was like these white plastic like slides and these white socks that I had to put on, and I'm like, I'm about to put on a uniform. Like, what's going on? Like, I thought I was just about to see her. Like, what is going on for real? So I had to put on this jail outfit on, like, what the hell? And then this random girl come out of nowhere. Like, she didn't come into the room. I'm saying, like, after I put on my clothes and then got out of there, told the police officer that I was ready to go, I have to follow her. And then all of a sudden, this random white girl come out of nowhere. I don't know where this girl came from. I had never seen her the whole entire time, and now she just then came out of nowhere, and she got on the same outfit as me, like with the whole jail outfit, to follow her. So we're following her. We go ahead and take a mugshot. Girl, I took a mugshot with that outfit on. I did not take a mugshot with my regular clothes on. Like, I took a mugshot with that. And I'm so glad that I can't find that mugshot because it don't need to be found. But after that, we followed the officer, and then she handcuffs us. Once we got onto the elevator, me and that white girl, she tells us to face the wall, like face the wall and don't face her. And like, we have to turn around, face the wall, and you know, with our hands cuffed. And it was humiliating, low-key, and it was just like I would never have this situation happen to me again, like, ever. But that's what happened. And then once the elevator opened, like, we went all the way down underground, and that, I guess, was where the real jail was, with all the rest of the people, general population, all that. But everyone, you know, has uniforms on. So I later found out that this jail, which was in Cobb County, people can stay there like up to a year. So like, some of these girls have been in there for like a long time. So we're following her down this long hall that I felt like would never end. And then we get to where all of the jail is. And now this jail is looking like the jail that you see in TV. And the only way I can compare it to is like a huge, let's just imagine a huge gymnasium, but with like cells. Like, that's the way I can put it. Like, got the gray looking flooring and, you know, metal bars and all of this stuff. So it's girls everywhere, but like on the top row it's jail cells, and then on the floor level it's jail cells. I was given this big old bag that had like toiletries in it, a mattress to put on my bunk, and like some other stuff. I never opened that thing. I was not about to sleep in there. I never used the bathroom. Nothing. All of the cells were open, mind you, and you can go in there and use the bathroom, or you can like sit on the benches or like do your thing. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want to do nothing with nobody. I didn't want to take this mattress out. I didn't want to do none of that. So I went and put my mattress in my little cell that they told me was mine, and I walked back out to where like the open area was, where you could just sit down. I sat down on the table, and I was just sitting there like paranoid, looking around, everybody looking at me, because everyone that has been in there is like comfortable, like they don't have no makeup on or anything because they've been there for a while. And then I come in here with a full face of makeup on, weave, like just out here with this jail clothes on. So they looking. I'm not trying to look at nobody. I don't want to make no eye contact with nobody, so I'm just like this. I just ended up falling asleep. So I fell asleep there. I don't know how I fell asleep, but I just fell asleep. And then when I wake up, some of the girls were talking amongst themselves, and then I don't even know how I got into the conversation because I wasn't trying to talk to nobody, but I ended up talking to them. It was like a group of women, various ages. Somebody looked my age, another girl looked a little bit older than me, and they're just talking about why they were in there. Somebody got in there for beating up her baby daddy, and then somebody else was in there for setting some house on fire. Like, all these things that are actually felonies, and I'm in there for a misdemeanor. So I'm just like, I'm not supposed to be here. I was trying to see some stupid ass guy, and like, I got drunk, and oh my God, I'm just not supposed to be here. So I'm just like listening or whatever. But these women actually were cool. And this story also goes to show you why you shouldn't judge anybody. So because I came in there with all type of judgment, although I'm in there. And then I left with a whole different perspective, but we'll get to that. So as we're talking, or as I'm listening, out of nowhere, this sound just comes out of nowhere, and it's like boom, 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 boom. And everybody like looking, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, what is that sound? And it's this huge girl. I swear to God, I'm not lying. It's like this huge girl. She didn't really look like a girl, but she was huge, and she's like coming down, and she's like got this scowl on her face, and she's like coming down, and I'm just like, my God, like, please, Lord, don't let her bother me. I'm speeding up the story, but this is a long story, but I'm speeding it up. So I had been in there for a minute. Like, before she came, I had been there for a long time. So once she did come down, I had got the call that said, Kayla Tucker. And so I grabbed my stuff, and I think it's time for me to go. And then it took like a whole nother hour for me to actually leave the jail, but whatever. So before I even get to that part, I talked to my mom while I was in jail again, once I got to that part, because there had like open phones areas or whatever. And she had talked to one of my good friends, which is like my cousin Mariah, who's actually an officer as well. Go figure. And I guess I don't know this part of the story. Mariah, if you're watching, comment and tell me your side. I don't know this part of the story, but I do know that my mom had called Mariah to get her help on how to get me out of jail, because don't nobody know, like, if you haven't been in this situation before, right? So I guess she, called Mariah. Mariah helped her out. My mom ended up calling my dad, and then my dad paid for the bail to get me out. It was a whole mess. But anyway, so once this girl came down or whatever, I'm just like, please, like, I gotta get out of here. So as soon as she came down, like, it's like she looked at me and it was like, Kayla Tucker. I ran. I don't even know what else was said after that. So I ran to the front. I forgot my stuff. I had to go back and get it because it was like, oh, you need to go get your mattress and all the stuff that we gave you and then come back. I ran and got the stuff, came back. I was like, I guess this would be like the transitional period, because I'm no longer in that general population area type thing, but now I'm like in this other area of like trying to sign out to get out, whatever. So long story short, y'all, because this story is going on for too long. I signed out to get out of there. One of the ladies was like, don't you come back in here, because you don't even look like you're supposed to be in here. Like, you need to stay out of here. I was like, I won't. So I signed my paperwork or whatever, and then I had to go back to this other room to put on the clothes that they took from me in the beginning, change back into those clothes. They gave me back my shoes. My shoes had no shoelaces in them. I don't know why they do that. They gave me back my phone, my jewelry, everything that I came with. They gave me back to me. Then when I came outside, all you see is just like sun and just fresh air. And then I see my mom and I see Mariah, and I just run to them, and I'm just looking like, I'm like speed walking, not running. I'm just looking ashamed, like trying to get to them. And then once we got in the car, I just remember Mariah was in the front seat, my mom was in the driver's seat, and I got in the bag, and they looked back at me. We all just started laughing. It was not funny. Like, nothing was funny, but we just couldn't do nothing but laugh. So all of us just started busting up laughing. Like, girl. It took my mom a long time to get over that situation. I still don't even think she over it. I'm so sorry, Mom, that I put you through this. Once I turned my phone on, I got all these messages, all these calls from Shay, Michael, my friends. And Michael's like, oh, what happened? Like, he thought I stood him up or whatever. And I'm like, bro, like, I just went to jail. Like, you could just get on somewhere. I ended up calling Shay back, like, Shay, and she's like, girl, where you been? Like, I waited up for you. You never called, you never texted. Like, I've been looking all over for you. Like, I didn't know if to call your mom. I've been like just worried sick. And I was like, girl, do you know where I was? And she was like, where were you? And I was like, girl, I was in jail. And she's like, you were in jail? And I was like, yes. She ended up taking me to get ice cream or whatever, and then we talked about it. That is the story about how I went to jail. Moral of the story is, do not drink and drive. Period. Like, I don't even play around with that stuff no more. Like, I went to jail, but people have died from DUIs. People have, gone through a whole bunch of stuff after the fact of getting a DUI. Thank God that I didn't have to do too much after the fact, because God just had me. But yeah. So anyways, I don't drink and drive. I don't play around with that stuff. If I want to drink and I'm going somewhere afterwards, best believe I'm taking an Uber, or my fiance gonna drive, or I'm not gonna go. But I'm not gonna drink and drive, period. Like, that's just a no. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did like the video. Just click the thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Yeah, this is a true story. So yes, I love you guys, and hope to see you guys again. Bye.